Thank you. Let me first of all recognize the presence of Honorable Dr. McIntyre, Honorable Robert Tom, my other cabinet colleagues were present, Mr. Bernstein, the developer, the Financial Secretary, Secretary of the Cabinet, Permanent Secretaries, the media present. Good afternoon. I first want to thank Mr. Bernstein for his decision to create this very important project and to have selected the Roosevelt Valley to locate this investment. I have no doubt, based on what Dr. McIntyre has said, that the people of the Roosevelt Valley will welcome this much needed investment that will help create many sustainable jobs to the benefit of this wonderful part of Dominica. The Roosevelt Valley is by far the most visited location in the country by our tourists. And we need to ensure that they don't only come there for a few hours, but they could come here for several nights and to have the experience, the real experience of the Roosevelt Valley in the country as a whole. So we do welcome this investment, and I'm happy for the residents of Roosevelt Valley and indeed the whole country, because the entire country will benefit from this investment. So far, the government has approved 5 projects under the real estate arm of the CBI, and today will be the 6th that the government is signing on to. Out of the 5 thus far, 4 have started, and some of them are at an advanced stage of construction. So it tells you that we've had some great success thus far with the CBI real estate arm of the project. We've received many other proposals, but we have not advanced them, and some of which we have not even given consideration to beyond review, because we are very circumspect with the projects which we consider and which we give approval to. We want to ensure that these projects are able to succeed, they're able to come to conclusion, and they fit within our own vision and expectations for our country, Dominica. We see this project, the Sanctuary Eco Resort, as fitting and considerate to our own vision for our country, especially in the Roosevelt Valley. Ensuring that at all stages, the environment is respected and the environment is protected. Because if we're to continue our efforts to build a climate resilient nation, if we're to continue to promote our country as an ecotourism site, destination, it must not only be based on what the good Lord has given to us, but it also must be what we have done to it and what we have done to conserve it and to preserve it. And this is why it's important for us as Dominicans, because the government can do all of these things. The government will fetch the investment, the government will fetch the monies to put the infrastructures in place, but we as citizens, there are some things that we must do for ourselves and by ourselves. And one of the things that we can do by ourselves as ordinary citizens across the length and breadth of Dominica is first to beautify our country. You know, you cannot cut trees and do not plant anyone back. You know, and it's also important for us to keep our country clean. The government will ban the use of styrofoams and plastics, but with the biodegradable items, you can also litter. And therefore, it's important for us to recognize our duty as citizens to keep our country clean, because the garbage on the side of the road don't walk from your homes to the side of the streets. We, in our own consciousness, in our own deliberate consciousness, place them there and dump them there. And then some of us, we complain that the country needs to be clean. But who has done so? You cannot have a derelict vehicle and have it on the side of the road and in a major tourism area or on a normal highway. All of these things will impact negatively on the experiences which our visitors will have when they come. So I want to implore our citizens that these investments are important for job creation, it's important for sustainable job creation, they're important to diversify the economy, they're solid investments which will bring a number of benefits to our country. And this is the path the government is taking. Engaging and partnering with investors to bring this kind of solid investments to our country. And so far we've been having great success. But we have to, as citizens, place ourselves to take advantage of the opportunities. So we have to review our own tertiary education support. You know, what do we study as citizens? What do we intend to study as citizens? Do we need to retool ourselves and to really pursue our real passion, which is in the hospitality industry? You know, and I've said before, even within the public service, we're prepared to afford public servants the opportunity to redirect their skills, redirect their talents, and to continue to make a meaningful contribution to the country's development in a new endeavor, which is the hospitality, tourism and hospitality industry. Tomorrow, the Cabinet will receive a presentation on the design for the new cruise ship terminal, cruise ship port, and also a modern cargo port. When I said in the Parliament that we intend to increase the cruise arrivals in the medium term to 600,000 and in the long term to 1 million passengers, there are some in the Parliament who laughed at me. And I did tell them that the joke will be on them at some point. And I'm satisfied that with the new thrust and the new approach the government is taking in respect to the development of the cruise village and our engagement with the cruise ships, we will see benefits. And that would, and sometimes a lot of the tourists who come for the cruise ship end up becoming stayovers because they love the experience and they're able to come back and therefore take advantage of the 72 rooms that will be constructed in the Roosevelt. Of course, we are making great efforts with regards to the construction of the international airport. We are now in negotiations, lands are being surveyed, and we have written to a number of property owners in the site designated for the airport, and we're in negotiations with property owners, and once we finalize those negotiations, then the land property owners will be paid. We're also conducting more in-depth geotechnical surveys that would advise us on the soil type and the type of engineering that we need to employ to mitigate against whatever challenges we may experience there. But I believe the debate about whether we need an international airport or not is over. And we should consolidate all our efforts in the country to achieving it. Sometimes, you know, we say we want something, when we get in it, we do not want it, you know. And but we, the government, is very committed to this. And this is not, as some may want to think, any political gimmick. You know this government. When we say we're going to do something, we do it. It may take a little longer than people expect, but we do it. When we said we were going to bring the first 5-star resort in Dominica, it's under construction. And look, we're having another one signed today. And we're very optimistic that this project will start in earnest, and it will come to a successful completion. So we're committed to these things. I also want to highlight the fact that we're also building, and it's under construction, a new national hospital, which would enhance the tourism industry. Because tourists want to know, if I come to a country and I want to fall sick or ill, what are the facilities there? And the first phase I've been advised of the hospital will be handed over to the government in April of 2019. And so we look forward to the completion of this hospital. And that in itself would no doubt make Dominica even more attractive. And with the 72 rooms, I'm not sure many of you have been there, because most of you guys, people may know New York better than Dominica. But where the hotel is being constructed is one of the most pristine and tranquil part of the country. With a river flowing right along the property. And that in itself could also serve as it has indicated, and really promoting wellness tourism. We've been talking about it, but I don't think we have been able to put our hand on it. And I'm hoping that Mr. Bernstein and Vital developers will certainly promote the element of wellness and rehabilitation. And of course, with the new National Hospital, we can see how we can marry the two to attract so many people who would like to come to a very quiet place with low crime, place that is safe to recuperate from whatever illness or challenges they may be having. Obviously, as I indicated, during the construction phase, several Dominicans will be employed, and at the start of operations, the project will employ a number of young Dominicans. I want to say to Dominicans, we should not only aspire to take the lower level paid jobs. We have to aspire to be managers. We should, all these young people who have gone to universities. I mean, since this government came into office in 2000, we have trained thousands of young Dominicans, thousands. And it's important for young Dominicans to rise to the challenge and avail yourself to these opportunities. We cannot just stay in our little niche or little nest and expect the country to develop if we're not prepared to soar, to open our wings, and to move from the branch that we've been perched on for so long. The skills that we acquire over time, whether at university level or various training programs, we must bring it to at the service of national development. We all want Dominica to be at a particular point, but how many of us are prepared to make our contribution in a very constructive and focused and dedicated manner? And it is something that we need to look at our country and to ask ourselves, do our own introspection as citizens, whether I am making the contribution that I believe I can make, or I believe I ought to be making. And if the question is indecisive, you're not. If you conclude that you're not, then you should do something about it. So I really want to implore young people that they need to rise to the occasion of those opportunities that are available. There's an opportunity for Dominicans, for example, to get together as local Dominicans to build a marina in Portsmouth. The government is prepared to entertain a project proposal from you on this. There are huge opportunities for this in Portsmouth. We see all the yachts in Portsmouth, but they need facilities, services, and with the marina, we believe that we can even see a higher increase of yachts coming here and staying for longer stays. And when the people come on the yachts, they get out, they go to the restaurants, they rent vehicles. Some of them even stay at the hotels because they want to have a different experience. They don't want to spend all the time on the yacht. They get out, and therefore we need to get the tourists who come on the yachts to not only stay on the water, because they stay on the water, no value to us. We need to get them out of those yachts and into our country and so forth. And here's an opportunity for Dominicans to join together and to create this proposal for us. The farmers, the fishermen. I know the Minister of Agriculture is meeting fishermen and farmers across the country in various groups, and bringing in some of the developers to speak to them about the opportunities that are there. I mean, one can just imagine with 72 rooms how much fish you would need every year, and how many eggs you would need, how many dozens of eggs you would need every year, and how many pounds of chicken you would need every year. On vegetables. And we in the Roosevelt Valley are known for vegetables, especially in Mount Prosper, in the Robinson area. And therefore we need to sit with these farmers and to see how we can help them get to the level where they can really produce under the conditions that are required by the discerning tourists and so on. So we're looking at this thing from a holistic, integrated manner. In respect to the CBI, as I've always said, we are ensuring that we manage the CBI very prudently. The due diligence process is taken very seriously. Because while we appreciate the funds that are coming from it and the investments that are being accrued from it, we want to ensure that we can maintain our good record, our good name in the industry, and we do not compromise on this, because one error can create a problem for the whole system, and we are very mindful of this. And this is why we urge our developers, we urge our promoters, we urge our agents to follow that strict respect in your marketing, in the language that you use. This is a serious business, and it must be treated in like manner. So the government will continue to do what it can with regards to the CBI. Obviously, with everything in this world, you have challenges that you have to deal with. But I believe that we will overcome those challenges as time goes by. And we recognize that these things are not there forever. Like anything else, and like human beings, we're not in this life forever. Though there are some people who believe that they'll go to heaven with the land that they have and so on. But we're not in this world forever. And this is why we are utilizing the CBI funds in a very responsible manner. Whether it's in housing, whether it's in infrastructure, whether it's paying down on expensive debt, to create more fiscal space for us. We can account for every single dollar that we've spent. And we have been able to develop a very good relationship with the developers. And this is why you're seeing an increased number of persons wanting to do business with us. So we're very grateful, Mr. Bernstein and the team, for partnering with us, for investing. These investments are important. I believe next week there's a signing of another project in enough of Dominica, which will also enhance the tourism prospects in Portsmouth and the entire north of the country. So, all in all, I'm very happy to be here, and I want to thank the ministers who have facilitated this process, and also the public servants, public officers who have also played their part. And to say to Mr. Bernstein, he has the full support of the government, and we're prepared to work with you on the promotion of this project in different locations as will be required. You have been in the industry for a very long time, so you know how the industry operates, and we're very confident that you have the wherewithal to get this project started and completed successfully to the benefit of the whole of the country. So the country, the future looks bright with our vision to create the world's first climate resilient nation, and with the backing of the international community. This is really the only outfit in Dominica that has a plan. Others speak in feeble ways about what they will do and what they won't do. But we're talking about things that we are doing, things where we have the money. Anybody can say they want something, but the first thing you have to ask yourself, well, where will I get the money from? We can all dream and say we want all sorts of things, but you have to say, you need money to get it done. And you need the contacts to get it done. This is the only outfit in the country that has the friends, has the contacts, that has a plan and a vision, because the Bible says where there is no vision, the people perish. And therefore, if you're unable to articulate the vision, then my brothers and sisters, I don't have to remind you what the good book says about where you will stand as citizens. And so when I go out, I will speak about how great the country is, how beautiful the country is, come to invest. There are others who will say how bad the country is, do not come to invest. But the good thing about it is that if you are with the Lord and the Lord is with you, there's nothing a man can do about that. He may try, but there's nothing he can do about that. And the good thing is about it that it is not only that the good Lord is with us, because he is there always, we must be with him. And we are with him, and so he's blessing us with these opportunities, with these investments. And so far, he has been good to us, and we want to thank him for this. So we pray blessings on the project, Mr. Bernstein. Are you a Christian? No, you're not?
Not really.
Not really. So you need to go to church or something.
I'm
looking forward to that. But we do pour blessings on this project, and because I recognize we didn't pray on this project, but I'm invoking that responsibility and pouring blessings on the project and the successful commencement. And we're very happy with this, and I am really elated for the people in Loda and the entire Roosevelt Valley, because these are hardworking people. These are industrious people. If you go to the Roosevelt Valley, there's so many small businessmen and women, so many of them, piling the trade in the tourism industry as tour guides, as vendors, as, small property owners, confectionaries, the number of people with small guest houses, the spas. I mean, this place is really making a huge contribution to national development, which is something which I believe that is not really captured in our statistics. The impact of these small businesses on the economy, because a number of these people may not be registered, or a number of them do not submit the statistics, or a number of them do not pay income tax. You don't always capture them in the system. And I think this is why I believe that the economy is much larger than is normally reported, because there's so many important elements of the economy that are not captured. Do we capture how much fish lands in Soufriere any week, or how much fish lands in Saint-Sauveur, or in Ansdeme, or in Portsmouth, or in Batterley? I don't think we capture it. We just make guesstimations rather than being on the ground and capturing this raw data and analyzing them. And so I think when you look at the Roosevelt Valley, those of us know it very well. It is making a huge contribution, and with this project, at this size of the project, no doubt will be huge. I will say to you, Mr. Bernstein, we are also looking at the possibility of developing tourism facilities in Wharton Haven that will also enhance your project as an attraction to your guests. But as Dr. Mark indicated, we have all what you need in terms of workers and contractors there to help you, and also people who would serve, who would work with you when the project is completed. So I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me, Dr. McIntyre and others, and to say that we look forward to coming to visit in a few months when construction will have taken place. Thank you, and God bless you.